YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Jones. Right now it's like 11:30 in the morning. Sitting here chilling, leaning in my chair, drinking a Yingling. I don't think it's odd to have a beer in the morning. Like who the fuck are you to tell me that I can't have a beer in the morning? Don't like that. Don't tell me what to do. Anyway, real quick, I wanted to talk about seeing the same old shit, right? And expecting different results. Doing the same old thing and expecting different results. For example, we're all over here getting cancer, aren't we? And it's inside the food that we eat, the things that we do, right? That are cancerous to the human body. So these are no good. So going to the grocery store and eating things that are no good for the human body, right? Things that you can't pronounce that are made in a lab. If man makes it, don't eat it. And this isn't going to be a whole video on that. It's just a few of the things I wanted to bring up. We're kind of asking for this, right? You know that you're supposed to be eating fruits and vegetables and meat that has been raised the right way. And vegetables, fruits and vegetables too. So organically put together, right? Organically put together, that sounds fucking terrible. Organically grown, meaning that there's not a whole bunch of pesticides and all this crap in there. Organically going, without the chemicals and all that. And the meat, we can eat the meat, that's fine. But the fact that it's not corn fed, that it was a free range animal. Because if you're feeding corn to, per se, a cow, right, a calf, well, that's like giving a child a Snickers bar. How much nutrition's in a Snickers bar if you keep feeding it Snickers bars, right? Same with the calf. If you keep feeding that when it's young and grows up to be a full cow, if you were feeding it crappy, well then that crappy antibiotics, because by the way, the corn's not good for it. So when it grows up sickly. So you shoot it with antibiotics just so that it can last till the slaughtering year, right? The age of slaughter, all right? So there's that. And if we keep eating these terrible things, mind you, in all those aisles that we've got, there's just so much bullshit being packaged within there. Things that you can't even pronounce. Why is it? Because it was made in a science lab. Also, just like medication. You know how many households are on medication? And everybody's fucking household, somebody's on medication. It's fucking ridiculous. It's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. If you are not realizing that we are so sick as human beings, it's not even funny, I need you to understand that this is done by design. The Georgia Guidestones, which are in Georgia, right? The Georgia Guidestones say to maintain a population under 500. I think that all of you should look into the Georgia Guidestones put together by apparently R.C. Christian. Listen, the Georgia Guidestones looks to be like basically the 10 Commandments for whomever, all right? But it doesn't, that's not something that you want going on because a lot of people will be killed according to those Georgia Guidestones if you're trying to maintain under 500 million, okay? We're well above that. So we got some problems coming our way. And so I mentioned the Georgia Guidestones. Those are things that contribute to what the Georgia Guidestones are saying, so or have written. And when I say things that are contributing, is basically just the simplest form of how we eat. We eat fucking terribly. You can't, if your body can't get what it needs, it will develop a disease. A disease is basically your check engine light. That's not the end of it all. Disease can actually be reversed. But that's not something that they're going to tell you. And when I say they, our doctors are, there's a system. Our doctors are a part of the system, and they're called medical doctors. They prescribe medicine. Shit that you can't pronounce, stuff that's got a patent on it. To get a patent, it needs to be different from others, right? So to get a patent, it's got to be different from others. So they've been putting all sorts of crap in there that you can't even pronounce. That's not how your human body is supposed to work. So if you're going to continue to take this medication, continue to eat this shitty food, continue to drink water that's got fluoride in it, fluoride's a neurotoxin. The medication's got neurotoxins. Those are things that are bad for the nervous system. Believe it or not, we've all got this thing called the nervous system, and the nervous system, if you understand the nervous system, or if a doctor understands the nervous system, he can cure you without all that crap. Okay? Let's see, John Bergman, Dr. John Bergman. Please look him up on YouTube, all right, and have an understanding of how the nervous system works. He talks about a lot of health things, and these things are true. Us taking this medication is bullshit, all right? The medication is not for you. It doesn't help you. Now, let's move on to another topic, all right? I just want to name a few things. I have mentioned in the past the churches. I'm not happy with the churches because the church, right, or churches have not been preaching the proper words in my eyes. Yes, it sounds all good and whatnot, and you get that fuzzy feeling. I don't know why you, excuse me, I don't know why you get that fuzzy feeling. But they're not telling us about the things that are really going on. They're not telling us about our government and who's running our government and what the government aims to do. By the way, our government is 17 different agencies. Might as well be 17 different rogue agencies, okay? There's a reason things are classified. There's a reason things are classified. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about the particular food that we are supposed to eat and are not supposed to eat. They're not breaking these things down for us. They're not talking about the water. And they're not talking about all the deaths that are occurring. Death that occurs, no matter how it happens, is very, very important. And we need to not go that route, right? It's very important. And I don't see the churches educating us. All churches are not the same, and I understand that. I want to give some of you some time to say, oh, blah, blah, blah. Wait a minute. Listen, all churches are not the same, and maybe there's some really good churches out there. I have yet to have gone to them, but I'm hearing about all this information from the Bible. And by the way, instead of calling it the Bible, it needs to be Bibles. There's so many Bibles that are just different. There's like 150 different Bibles out there, is what I gather. And not only are there so many different Bibles, for a company to sell the Bible, to have a copyright on a Bible, it needs to be 10% difference. There needs to be a difference. So what is going to be different? Possibly the scriptures inside the Bible, all right? Things have been changed around. Now, if you know about the telephone game where kids in kindergarten, right, kids sit down and a story is told, a really short story is told. And by the time that story gets back to the original kid, it's totally changed, right? So one kid tells one kid one snippet of a story, and it's supposed to, the goal is to keep it consistent once it gets to you. Now, have we been playing the telephone game? I think so. So the Bible has been changed around, and when we're trying to decipher it into modern English, it has been changed. It has been. And to think that it hasn't, you're fucking nuts. You're nuts. It's something that makes money. It's something that's on the shelves. God isn't in a warehouse saying, this isn't going up because this isn't right. There are small snippets of change. From what I hear, you need to be looking at the King James Version. And it sounds like there's a particular King James Version, but at least looking at the King James Version. Okay? So please take a look at that. And you know, oh my God. You know, if someone made a shirt of me, it'd be me yawning. Because I fucking yawn in all these damn videos and I hate it. I don't yawn any other time except for the videos. Anyway, so I was talking about the King James Version of the Bible because it looks like the Bible has been altered. And I see that there are so many different versions of the Bible, in which I did not know until recently. But I've always thought in my head about that telephone game for many, many years. They make the Bible so that we can better understand it. But how much of that did they keep pure? Was the translation pure? All right? And that's speaking about the Bible. So, to someone like me, the church is kind of a problem. Because from what I see, or what I don't see, is I don't really see them combating the issues that we have. So, I see this as a problem, guys. And that's just that. All right? Also, mainstream media. The mainstream media, things that are on the television, that is for, number one, entertainment, and number two, it's to make money, okay? These people are deceiving you. What is going on in our government is nowhere near what they're talking about. Also, they put so much opinion in there that it doesn't even make sense. When I go and watch television, I look at it and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? When I watch the news, and I see so much opinion, and also I see things that are not unlawful that they are saying are against the law. They are swaying you so hard, and for some reason, a lot of you aren't picking up on this. That I think what I want to say is we have dead receptors in our head. We have dead receptors. Things that should be very obvious to you aren't, because we follow the masses and we take things to be gospel when they are not, such as mainstream media or the church or the guy in church preaching. Okay, I'm not trying to say church is a bad thing. Everyone in church is trying to do the right thing, but at some freaking point you gotta ask questions as to why things are the way they are. We are as human beings, we're the sickest animal on the planet. How the hell did that happen? When cancer makes $1 billion every year, they make a serious amount of money. Walks for cancer, selling the ribbon. Listen, do you know how many people listen, I'm not even going to go into it with y'all, but there have been scientists that have already cured cancer. And by the way, cancer is cancer. If you have cancer, if you starve it, it reverses. If you starve it, it reverses. Things that they give you cause cancer. That's something you need to look into. What type of treatments are you going to undergo and watch it cause cancer? How many people have had something and then it comes back? How many people have died off of it? This is not something that you needed to die off of, nor did my aunt need to die off of this, all right? There's no freaking reason. Stop doing the same thing the next man did just because of our society. Stop it. I need more people to get their head out of the fucking ground and start looking up and saying, why the fuck are we doing this? What the hell are we doing this for? Why would I put that in my mouth? I can't even pronounce this. What the fuck is this? What do you expect the outcome to do with the things that we're doing? And I'm not saying to make huge drastic changes by tomorrow, but slowly make these changes. Do your research on fluoride, but don't Google your research. There's a search engine called DuckDuckGo. You can go on DuckDuckGo and go about that way. There's multiple other search engines, and I'm not saying Bing. That's another major search engine. Listen, just like Facebook, Google, Amazon, the government's got their hand in things. It is beneficial for them to have their hand in things and to have things go their way. For example, hey, you know who the biggest drug seller is? Who sells the most drugs, huh? The fucking government. That's why we're in freaking I get my stuff mixed up. Iraq or Iran. One of those countries has a shit ton of lithium. That's why we're occupying them. And the other country's got a shit ton of opium. So, yeah, we are the biggest drug peddlers you've ever seen. And then those guys who got busted in New Jersey for all that fentanyl, listen, to maintain a population, like the Georgia Guidestones say, under 500 million, all right? So, what they're going to do is they're going to kill you in multiple different ways. There are multiple stories going on. There are multiple satanic, devilish things fucking going on. The love of money is the root of all evil. Not the money, because the money is a medium, right? But the love of money is the root of all evil. It's disgusting, and it's killing you. You got to stop being the sheep and look up. You got to start seeing the wolf in sheep's clothing. Look up, all right? You got to start seeing it, or else you're just going to be like everybody else who's died or had issues or run into problems. And to think that you can't do nothing about it, I'm not okay with that. The more people who wake up, I'm not saying to go out and do something about it. Well, yeah, I am. I'm saying that you should, look into things that kind of change your life around. But to think you can't do something about it, that you're just a drop in the bucket, is not true. A bad apple spoils the bunch. Maybe not the best example or analogy, but a bad apple spoils the bunch. So you can be that bad apple, and then the rest can become more alive, more enlightened, more awoke, understanding what is going on. There's so much going on right now that the reason I'm making these videos is because I don't believe that someone cannot change someone else's life. I don't. And I'm sure that myself has opened eyes to a few things. Anyway, shout out to Xbox Ray. Glad I didn't forget, right? And shout out to those who leave comments. Hey, man, I appreciate that. You guys have a good one. And please start paying attention and just get a feel for things, please. This is a whole new world, and it's nuts. I'm freaking telling you, it's nuts. All right? None of this stuff is on accident. Start paying attention, please. Thank you.